I want to welcome you to podcast number 52.
It is 1 year anniversary. It's a 1 year anniversary.
This is our 1 year anniversary.
If a podcast number Monday, podcast
We've
number
been
one
doing
day.
this 52 times.
52 times, yeah. 52 times, yeah.
And I can never get used to the way you do it.
Oh, man, thank you.
It's amazing.
Why are we wearing our hoods up?
It's freezing in here.
Oh, we're in Canada. We're on camera.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm probably not going to. I probably should. No, I have my. That was a little awkward.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with it now that people can see us.
I think I'm just going to still talk to you like we always do. I don't really think I'm going to pay attention to the camera.
Pay no attention to the camera.
That's usually what I do because you're usually running it just at odd times.
Yeah, and we're not super high tech, just using my phone. So,
well, that basically goes right along with what we do with our podcast.
yeah, but it is our 1 year anniversary.
Today is our 1 year.
We're excited about it.
And so we have with us, we talked about eating cake today, and we're hoping that you're going to celebrate with us, those of you that are listening. We want you to get a big, giant, I know some of you are diets. Listen, one of the reasons we're doing this is because we have been super good.
We've been eating really good, as you can tell.
We've been losing weight, and we have today, we talk about getting cake or cupcakes, or honestly, coming to Canada, I don't know if any of you guys have had crunchy bars.
Oh, those things, so good.
It's
so good.
They're hard to describe, too.
I want to eat them all day.
Yeah, when we drove into Canada, first thing we did was, we didn't stop and get gas. First thing we did was stopped and got crunchies. Bars.
And then we almost ran out of gas.
Yeah, because we weren't thinking about gas, we were thinking about
the
crunchies.
chocolate. Yeah, the chocolate that we're going to eat.
So that's the very first thing we did. My kids were very excited about it. We made it through the border, no problems this time.
Yeah, if you look on our Facebook page, you see our border faces.
Yeah, well, this time it was a little bit easier because we had the kids with us.
It's always easier getting into another country if you have kids. I don't know if we should be broadcasting this.
Yeah. but
I mean, Asher, your kids are like the cutest kids, right?
Yeah, they were pretty, and they were pretty excited to see.
And they come to the border and they're all like, "Hi, Mr. Border Patrol." And I'm sitting there like this, like just trying not to make eye contact.
Well, it's because you look like you're guilty all the time.
Well, the last 4 times I've been across the border, I've been stopped.
Well, because you have that guilty look.
I don't know what it is. It's just my normal face.
I know. That's why you're always in trouble with me.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, because I can't tell if you've done something, so I just always assume. And so when you have done something, you're like, he knows.
Usually I've done something at some point. So whenever you're like, hey, you've done something, I'm always like, oh, I go back to when I was like 3.
You remember
I just go through everything.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, Asher does that too, because Asher actually thinks Gina has eyes in the back of her head.
Yeah.
And so he came to me and he's like, "Dad, do you have eyes in the back of your head?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And I haven't, I have a lack of hair, so you could tell if I do or not. And he said, he said, "But how did you know that I was upstairs in my room messing around?" And that's just because I know everything. He goes, "You have eyes in the back of your head then."
That's so funny. That's what he thinks about.
Yeah. But I don't really need eyes in the back of my head because I just always know and assume you've done something.
It could be like a Holy Spirit thing, right?
That's probably what it is.
Man, I should get some of that.
Coming across the border with my kids every time, this time included, somehow when we hit that border, it changes 40 degrees.
Yeah, it was crazy, wasn't it?
It's like 100. It could be 100 degrees and then all of a sudden 60 across the border.
We stopped in Grand Forks, right?
Yes.
And then I, in the morning, put on me my bunny hug. That's what they call it.
That's so weird.
And my toque. That's what they call it here.
Oh, okay.
And everyone was making fun of me because they were like, "Why? It's like 70 degrees outside. What are you dressed like that for?" Which
you're right. My family was making fun of you.
And to be fair, they were right
because you were sweating.
I was sweating quite a lot.
And I even wondered. I don't know what you're doing.
But I got to the border. We got across it. We got to that first little gas station where we stopped,
and it was freezing. It was freezing so much that my kids we had them in shorts and t-shirt. You're in whatever you called it. You're in
my two can be bunny hug.
You're in a sweatshirt.
I would love a hug from a bunny.
A cap. And we walk into the first place in Canada. I think it's like an A&W or something like that.
Yeah.
And you know what happened? Everybody looks at us like we're horrible parents because my kids are in shorts and t-shirt and they're freezing.
Yeah, it's like 50 degrees
They're
outside.
shaking.
But
you're warm.
Prepared.
Yeah, so good job, James.
I knew I was going. Canada, as soon as you get across that border, anyone going, it drops like 25 degrees.
Yeah, so we were expecting sled dogs to pick us up and stuff at the border.
Would have been
Nobody
sweet,
showed
but
up.
nobody
We're
showed
going
up.
ice fishing tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
It's a terrible time here.
it's actually been beautiful.
Well, actually, we've done services all weekend long.
It's been powerful.
We've been up in Lloydminster. We were in Prince Albert, and
did 3 services 3 different
here.
Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night.
and it was really powerful time.
Yeah.
So we really had a great time.
Last night we did a citywide thing, which was really cool. Joyce, her name's Joyce Meyer, different Joyce Meyer.
Yeah, not the Joyce Meyer.
She actually called and they pulled together something in Prince Albert that I was super proud of.
Yep.
They pulled together a bunch of different churches and they all met. There's probably, I don't know, 400 people there.
Yeah,
maybe,
just
or
over
something.
400 people there.
Yeah, and packed out this auditorium. And it was powerful.
Yeah,
It was
we got to
powerful
play, and then
see
you
them
got
coming
to,
together.
and they asked you to speak
Yeah.
to all of them and bring them together. And you brought a great message on the unity and what it means to have unity and to be together. So
Yeah, we went
it was
after
really
it a little
powerful.
bit.
You did go after it.
Yeah, it was fun. So then we drove back here. So here we are in Saskatoon. We have,
Let's get to
instead of
this.
getting cake and cupcakes today, James and I are celebrating with stuffed donuts and
With
these
Saskatoon
berries.
berries.
And we're celebrating Canada because we're actually here, and our good friends Brent and Barb Radowski,
Yep.
their daughter Bailey
Bailey,
is getting married
she's getting married, getting hitched,
to Nathan
jumping on the wagon.
Weeb.
Nathan Weeby.
B.
Weeby.
It's Weeb.
Weeb.
Is it Weeby?
I like to say
It's
Weeby.
Wiebe.
Weeby is better.
Well, I've always said Weeb. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but we'll probably call him Weeby.
Yeah, Weeby.
So
Weeby, Ubi,
Nathan and
baby.
Bailey are getting married.
Yeah.
I'm helping officiate the wedding. I think I am. They've asked me to, but I don't know what's going on yet. I mean, it is this
Are
Saturday.
you going to use props?
I'm not exactly sure. I might even have you come in and do something.
Dude, I will wear Daisy Dukes at a tank top at a wedding.
You should. Why did you go? Why do you always do
Because
that?
it'll
That's
be-
too far.
It'll be a
Too
wedding
much line
to
cross.
remember.
Okay, that's enough. So we are in Canada. We're here for a wedding, and I'm super excited about it. We're
Yep.
gonna do services at their church too. Faith Alive
Yep.
Friday night. We're
Yep.
doing a worship and healing night. Sunday morning we're doing something, but we're doing the wedding on Saturday. I love doing weddings because I do love using props. I do bring props usually when I do weddings.
You
So I'll have
do.
to think of something special for them.
I can't wait.
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do, but all I do know is today we're eating it in celebration of it being a year.
Yep. And if
And this
anybody,
wedding.
and we said last week, if anybody has their cakes ready, stick a candle in it, do what you want, decorate it, but then post a picture of it. We'd love to
Yeah,
see them.
we want to see you eating.
Eating. It could be candy, it could be cake, it could be donuts. I don't care. It's an eating day.
We want to see you eat something.
Yeah, eat something. And no vegetarian.
And listen, if you're a vegetarian or you're a vegan and you have not eaten sugar and stuff, we're not encouraging you to eat sugar. We would love to see you eat a piece of meat.
I know a couple of people who are on paleo. You deserve some sugar in your life.
Yeah, just one day. It's a celebration. It's been a year. What's been one of your highlights of doing this podcast this year?
Oh, the Accent podcast was a good one.
That was a pretty funny one. If we were professional, we'd go back and play a clip from it.
Yeah, but just go listen to all the podcasts.
Yeah,
You'll
go
find
listen
it.
to it. You'll find it. It's
What was
on
yours?
Accents. I really love the one where on spontaneity,
Oh, yeah.
where I threw out lines like a chip on your shoulder, and you had to tell us historically where it came from.
Yeah, there was atmosphere in the air.
What's been one of your least favorite moments? Can you think of it?
Well, I can't say I have had any least favorite moments, but there have been times where you've been talking, I've been like, that's really powerful, man. And
Yeah,
I,
you
and
broke
I've,
down a few
I've broke down
times.
a couple of times.
So
you
your
really spoke
least
to my
favorite
heart.
time is when
I got
something
help.
becomes conviction. Jeez.
I feel like it's coming on again.
I think
soon.
my least favorite time was just our first podcast because we listened to it the other
Oh
day.
my
I was
gosh!
like, wow,
we
that
listened
was
to the
pretty
first
painful.
It was like welcome. It was like I didn't say a word.
No.
I was like,
I actually liked that part better.
I was like, you are such a jerk. You jerk!
Oh man, but we have had.
I've
a blast.
really grown.
This has actually been a blast, and it's really grown because when we started it, we were thinking about just kind of going just down the worship route.
Yeah, worship leaders.
And more of worship in church and helping worship leaders and stuff. But we started having so many of you listening to it, calling us, emailing us, letting us know that this was really helping you. And so we realized worship is a lot broader. than just a church service. And
Yeah.
so really worship is an attitude. So we kind of started going after that. And it's been a blast.
And it has been. The last year, we've seen some really great open doors. We've gone into a lot of different churches, talked to a lot of leaders, developed a lot of leaders and worship teams, worship leaders, and it's been awesome.
Yeah, and this year a lot has changed for us. When we started the podcast, we did not know we were going to be moving, as
To
quick
Nashville?
as we were, and now this next season is going to be starting. We're going to be out there the second week of October. We're moving out there
As soon as we
and
get back.
The team is already out there, and we're traveling all of October. We're going to be in Indiana, then we're going to be in Nashville.
Yep.
And then I'm going to be in Canada again.
Yep, you come back up here.
Towards
Toronto
area. And then we're going to be in West Virginia with our friends.
Yep.
Sean Jonas
and Joy.
and the team out there. And then what happens after that?
We go to November.
Then we got 2 weeks in November. We're doing 2 events, one out in North Carolina and one in St. Louis, and then we're done.
We're done.
Well, maybe not.
No,
we're not doing anything in December.
You always told me, you're like, hey, we'll take December off. And then you're like, I'll just schedule one thing.
And I probably will.
Yeah.
I mean, we just have a hard time slowing down.
Yeah. Why waste time?
That's right. So we love still hearing from you. We hope that this podcast is really helping you. If it's not, then we'll stop. No,
Yeah.
we won't. We're not going to stop because this is like fun for us and we love doing it.
Love it. Can
And
we eat these now?
No, can we finish the podcast?
Okay.
We'll go short.
Yeah. So.
They do look good though.
Oh man, they're just sitting there.
I know.
Begging me
I wish some
to
of
eat
you
them.
could be here to eat these Saskatoon
You could
Berry
just smell
donuts
them.
with us.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah, and I don't know if I can. We actually had more donuts. We already
ate 2 of them.
That's our day to eat.
I wasn't gonna mention that I wasn't gonna act like this is the first.
Yeah,
but you and I,
I've never had a donut
so
in
we're,
weeks.
We're out driving and we go and I was like, "There's a bakery," because out here we don't know, where everything's at.
What's
and
good?
stuff.
But you'd heard
And
about
so
this bakery.
I've heard about this bakery, and so we stopped. We walked in, and I spent $35.
Yeah, we bought meat pies.
We bought meat pies, sausage rolls,
and donuts.
and a Saskatoon Berry Pie for later on tonight.
Yeah.
Because Pastor Brent loves Saskatoon Berry Pie.
Yeah, he does.
He actually likes to make them.
Yeah.
And one year he made them. Remember that?
Yeah, I wasn't here, but I heard the story.
I went outside with my piece of Saskatoon Berry Pie, took a big bite of it, chewing it, and I was like, man, this has tons of seeds in it. And then Gina's inside, I don't know, she's chewing a piece, and Pastor Brent's like, how is it? And Gina's like, oh, it's good. And he's like, it's not great. She's like, it's got a lot of seeds in it. He's like, Saskatoon berries don't have seeds. He's like, oh no. And because he thinks he might have actually accidentally grabbed berries that are maybe poisonous.
He tried to kill you guys?
And so he comes running outside and he's like, it was like slow motion. Don't eat the pie. And here's me like, what? And I'm like on my last bite. And he's like, I don't know. Did you eat that whole piece already? And I was like, yeah, it's like one piece. It takes me like 5 seconds. And we came to find out they ended up being like grapes or some kind of other thing. But
So be careful when you're in Canada eating the pie.
no, be careful eating pies Pastor Brent Radowski makes.
Has it made, right.
Because there's a good chance it's going to kill you.
So you got a real fair dinkum Saskatoon berry pie.
I don't have no clue what fair dinkum means.
Actually,
but
it's
I'll just
Australian.
say
I don't know
this.
why I used it either.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
Probably because you had meat pie today.
It's probably so.
It kind of brought you back home.
Go into that area, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we want to encourage you today. We were talking in the car a while ago as we were driving. Some of the things that God's really placed in our hearts, and this is for you. This could be just a real quick reminder as you go through your day. There's some things that God's kind of been placing on us, and this weekend I've talked about it a lot. I talk about the new song being on our mouths.
Yeah, right.
And the Lord kind of spoke to me about it not too long ago. And remember that the Word of God says, "Let there be no grumbling or complaining." Let no complaining be on your lips, and those kind of things. And I started realizing, like, the people I know that complain a lot tend to be Well, I say a lot because they tend to repeat a lot of the patterns that they've been in their whole lives. And so as they're going through those patterns, you start realizing maybe the problem isn't that they just complain about what other people are doing, but their complaints are actually prophesying their future because they seem to be in this perpetual thing. And that's why scripture says, if anything is good, trustworthy, think on these things.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is people who tend to think negatively and speak negatively. I believe that you're actually prophesying what's ahead.
Yeah, it's true.
And so what the Bible does say is he says, sing a new song to the Lord. And I think the powerful thing about a new song is it doesn't talk about what's happened to you. It doesn't talk about hurt, and it doesn't ignore that some things have happened. But for us, we want to encourage you today that even, today is a year for us, and there's been good things that have happened in our lives over the last year. Sometimes there's hurtful things that happen. Sometimes there's things that are said about you and stuff. And you can live in that, and you can always talk about it, complain about it, argue about it. Grumble, yeah. But you know what? When you start singing a new song, I believe your words go forward. They never go backwards.
It's always funny because you've always told us, even in the van, you're like, you're not big into whining or complaining.
Yeah.
It's like, stop whining, stop complaining.
Yeah.
Start professing stuff that's good. If you've got a problem with something, then start living something good in your life.
Yeah.
And it's actually changed my mindset because I tended to be like sometimes, and it really has changed the mindset to be like, I'm going to just declare, you know what, that stuff doesn't bother me. Why is it affecting me so much?
Yeah.
Why is it bothering me so much? And it's just sometimes for some people it's little things that really have no weight in their life at all, and they're just worried, or they're complaining, or they're even when you talk about like political things or government stuff that's out of even their hand a little bit, and you're like, but let's just start declaring the good things of our life and what we're going to do and what we're going to accomplish, and then start living that sort of life.
Yeah, and it doesn't remove the fact that sometimes you need counsel, or sometimes
advice,
right? Yeah, you need advice, and you need to go talk through a situation, or you need to talk with a brother or sister about a situation that's bothering you. But I'm talking about things that we almost seem to perpetuate over and over and over again. And that's why do everything without grumbling and complaining. Do everything without grumbling and complaining. You need to repeat that after me. Do everything without grumbling and complaining. You need to put on your lips a new song. And the new song is going to be something that actually propels us forward and keeps you from just living in the frustrations of today. And that doesn't mean we never experience frustrations. You and I talk about that. We're running up against frustrations at times, but we're not going to let the frustrations dictate who we are. We want to make sure that we're dictating those things. And so, I've always said, don't let situations dictate you. You dictate situations. And so you take charge. Have presets that come out of your mouth when something negative begins to happen. For you may need counsel. You may need to talk through some things, but don't let there be grumbling and complaining constantly on your lips, because I believe if that's what's coming off your lips, those words actually go before you.
Yeah.
And you're actually creating your future.
Yeah.
So if you'll start considering that every word that comes out of my mouth is creating my future and my destiny, and I'm going to walk into, because remember, even in physical, think about it, when I speak out, it goes forward. It never wraps around my head and goes backwards. It goes forward. That means I walk into my words. I walk into what I speak. I walk into what I say. And I think it's important, even for you and I, we talk about this a lot. We're encouraging each other all the time. And you and I joke, on this podcast about you being silent during spiritual times, stuff like that. But we both know that in those moments in services, when you and I are talking, encouraging each other, that we do this together. And when we step out as a team, and we've learned together. I mean, you and I have been on this journey for 10 years together, and our whole team, really, I think the least, maybe 7 years is the shortest amount of time we've been with the team. But 7 years is a lot of years, and we've been doing this together for a long time. And so we have learned together. This isn't something that Dustin just learned and taught. It's like we've learned kind of through the fire of walking some of this stuff together. And we learned when we complained and when we talked about frustrations over and over, we tended to live in it. And we just kept moving forward. And that's why I believe God put on me, even for this next year's podcast, sing a new song. What is the new song? It doesn't mean you need to relearn how to sing. It doesn't mean the things you've been taught how to sing and the trainings that you've learned you have to forget. But it does mean that what God is trying to do is trying to get you to propel yourself forward into a new future by learning his character and then speaking that.
Yeah.
Don't speak where you're at. Speak where you know you need to be.
Go.
And if you're a leader of a church, one of the myths is, well, you want to make sure you meet people where they're at. No, you don't. Not as a leader. You want to help people get to where they need to be.
Yeah, that's where they're going.
Well, that doesn't make sense. They already know where they're at, and you don't want to meet them there. That means you're both stuck. You're both frustrated. You're both,
right.
You're both hurt. And so when you're leading a congregation, you have to always remember that as you move forward as a leader, that you're not moving by yourself, but you're speaking it forward, trying to get them to move forward into a new destiny and purpose.
Love it.
So powerful
So
stuff.
start speaking out good things.
Yeah, and we believe it for you. We believe it in healing for you. We speak life over your bodies, and we really believe that God's doing something. We want to remind you, Healing is Right is up, healingisright.com.
Go to that.
Yeah, go to healingisright.com. We are working really, really hard to get that done in the next couple weeks. We're trying to get the app done, everything approved. You're going to see a lot more about it happening on social media. We're going to ask you to help us with that.
Yeah.
Post about it. Get on the website, healingisright.com. Sign up for it.
Yep, do all that sort of stuff. You can donate if you need to. And then always, social media is always a great way to get the word out. But also just tell people, if you're going out there and say, hey, if someone's like, man, I'm not feeling very well, get them onto healingisright.com. Just spread the word, because that's the best way to get people involved.
Yep. So we're super excited for you. Thanks for sticking with us for a year. Those of you that are just
and now you're
going to
see us on these.
Yeah. And I'm going to, I don't want you to have to, listen to us chomp on this, but I'm going to take a big bite of this.
You know what? It's not what goes into a man's mouth that makes on. Oh, that is juicy berryness. I don't know whose couch this is, but it's covered in sugar.
Man, live, that is really good.
Enjoy your cakes. Enjoy your donuts.
You have sugar all over your face.
And I love it. I love it.
Please, take pictures of yourself eating food. Tomorrow will all be good again. Today, we celebrate.
Love you guys. Love you guys.